All right. I think I am live. Welcome back, everybody. This is a special session on my Zen Friends where I come back on to finish out all the readings I didn't complete in the earlier session. So, if you look in the description box of the video, you will see the order in which I'm going to complete the readings. I've got what is that? Maybe 8 donations to finish up. Excuse me, and then we will head off into the free readings as well. So we will get those. Apologies, the um, names now. I think what do they call them? There's a different instead of the channel name. There's like a. It's not called tags. I put what it is in the description box of it. I already forgot what I wrote, but there is a it's like the at sign and whatever. So it looks different than it normally did. So apologies. You might have to look and go, oh wait, that's my ID or whatever. So just keep that in mind. There's no chat in the session. We're not taking any new readings for this evening. It's just to finish up from earlier. I will be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, as well as Sunday at that time. And then tomorrow night, too, at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, if you'd like to join me for new readings. We'll get into those. After I'm done with the stream, I will post a pinned comment listing the order of the readings. Plus, in addition to that, I will also put the timestamp so you can just click on it and go directly to your reading. So I think that is it. Let's dive in and we'll see what we have going on. So up first, we do have Guerrera means war. Let's grab your timestamp here real quick. Let me not forget that. So Guerrera, thank you so much for your donation. I really appreciate that and for your patience in getting to your reading, of course. All right. So all is well with me. I hope all is well with you as well. You want to know, what does the month of July have in store for you? All right, let's take a look here. See what Spirit wants you to know. What? Okay, they want those. They do want those first. And see, they do want this one too. 1 and 2 and 3. And I feel like those are the underlying. I think that's what they want here. All right. Let me just scooch these out. And we'll get you all set up here. All right. So bottom of the deck, we start off here with the High Priestess, the number 2. So the underlying energy for the month. Oh, yep. And you have a little bit of underneath that, the Death and Rebirth card here as well. Which, good, transformational type energy. Don't worry. Not unless we all have the Death card and we're all headed off to a new dimension. Don't think that's happening yet. So that's all about rebirth and transformation. I like that for you. I feel like you are ready for some change. You're like, yeah, I'm ready to let some stuff go and ready to move into something new. So I do like that. The energy for you. It is a little bit of pocketed away energy. So July, you might have a little extra time designed for you to connect with spirit, to step out of the chaos, go up into your high priestess temple, connect with spirit, look behind the veil, dive deep into the emotions. And that's where this rebirth energy happens, is in solitude with spirit. So making sure to take that time during the month is really welcomed there. Let's see what's building. You have 1 card and then 2 cards and then 3 cards. So something's building in July with this rebirth. Look at the underlying energies. It starts off here. Yeah, 3 of Swords. Expectations equal disappointment. And this is, I feel like, what you're moving into July with. Just realizing here this things that have been brought up that you're just like, you know what? This stuff, and it's 3 different areas, right? The 3 swords. One area is relationships. The other is situations like jobs, education, social status, and then the third is things like our bodies, our bank accounts, our possessions. And these different areas have been having this, well, I'm achieving things or having things come into my life, and I'm like, they're not bringing me the fulfillment I thought they were supposed to. That's the expectation. Supposed to. And but these things have been happening to build you up into July to show you that the outside world isn't where it's at. We're told that's where it's supposed to be at, but we go and eat and drink of these things, and we're still more hungry, if not the same hunger, and more thirsty, if not the same amount of thirst. To our soul is so hungry. Well, eventually, it turns us inward and upward, where we find that which is, here's that high priestess, inward and upward to the high priestess temple. We find the eternal, unconditional love of the Creator, which is what our soul is hungry for, and it's the only place we can find it. Outside, temporary, conditional and unstable. Inside, eternal, stable, unconditional love. And so this is what you're moving into it with. The underlying energy, yeah, is the strength card, is the Leo energy that is coming in, which is that whole story. And that's funny that I didn't even see the card yet, but it was the hunger and thirst, because this lion is your human self, and then the maiden here usually has the infinity symbol over her head, which represents your higher self. And the whole story of the strength card that Spirit gave me is we come down, and the lion, before it knows it's the character, and there's an actor behind this character we're playing, our true self, we're told, go out here and eat and drink of all that. And so the lion does, it eats and drinks of all that. And it's hungry, it's hangry, it's hungry, angry, because it's so hungry that it's roaring in the jungle. And that's when our higher self comes down, introduces themselves, and we're become aware of, like, I'm so much more than just this human character. I'm this powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. And that's what makes me feel full and whole and complete. That comes in with all that. So I do like that energy of the realization. And then our higher self isn't like Superman, who comes in and then flies away um, after rescuing us and making themselves aware. They stay with us because they're always with us. We just now became aware of it, and then we walk hand in paw together, being the lion and the maiden, through life in a different way, full of more awareness. So I like that for you. That is the energy that you're coming into July with. And then what builds throughout the month, you have the Six of Cups. Interesting past life energy coming in. And the Shah of Cups, the King of Cups, the balance of head and heart. So July does bring you this awareness here of past life emotions that have been flowing and growing this year. You're becoming more and more aware of that. And so you're understanding more about your own self through emotion, but also other people. I feel like you're starting to feel like this deeper flow of energy with some individuals. And also, the Six of Cups is an energy of emotion coming back from the past in this lifetime. Doesn't mean that you're gonna, like, someone like an ex is coming back, and you're like, oh my God. It could be that the memory or the emotion is coming across your path again. Old reminder on Facebook, if you have those, like 10 years ago, blah, blah, and you're like, oh my God, or coming across something they gave you, or just an old memory is triggered and old emotion flows. But it does feel like there's this balancing of head and heart of all this emotional energy that's been bouncing around. So some great transformational energy, which makes sense again with the high priestess and that death and rebirth. Underlying energy, you have the daughter of swords, which is the page of swords. So a lot of clarity of why did I want that to happen for me? What did I learn through those things? And some great awareness. So that's where that transformation comes from. We move from this emotion happened to me to it happened for me, and some great ahas come through here for you in the month too. It's preparing you for something. Definitely there's this building energy, 1 and 2 and 3. Let's see what's coming in here. All right, some more hermit energy. So while you're spending some time for yourself, you do have some awareness. You have the temperance card, great balancing energy. But this also is something that's been slowly going back and forth, and it's alchemy. The magic you've been adding to this piece of your life has been moving. It kind of maybe feels like it's been moving really slow, but you're about to have it just turn to gold. Yeah. Wow, you got the 3 major arcana that this is building up to. You have the Empress, which is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, but it's also about harvest. It's about birthing, that comes from you nurturing yourself. A lot of emotion. She rolls over all the queens, which ends up having, because each queen gets a cup behind the scenes, emotion behind the scenes, in addition to their suit. So it's 5 parts water or emotion, 1 part fire, 1 part earth, 1 part air. So a lot of emotional energy. Um, I feel like this is preparing you for a because your inner love is transforming. I feel like it's preparing you for an outer love coming in as well. Yeah, and you have the Shah of Coins, the King of Pentacles. So very much this abundance energy that this is building up to in this fullness, and this could even be a earth sign energy that comes in towards the end of July, and I feel like this is that it is also an energy of harvest, like the Empress underlying energy, but there's this great grounding energy that is coming in, and I like that for you. I just feel like it's all of this is building up to preparing you, um, because your worth, you're finding that when you uh, like have it defined by the outside world into those areas, relationship situations and things that you feel unstable. That's what the King of Pentacles learns. One of the big lessons he learns as he goes through the entire Pentacle suit is that when he defined himself by those things, he felt unstable until he eventually turned inward and upward. Again, it's kind of like this that energy you're coming into it with, you're actually applying it more and more. And then when that stability comes in, you're not feeling the instability of the outside world. You don't feel like the world is lacking. Instead, you're being filled from the inside and filling up and overflowing that the stuff of the outside world. It transforms from lack to abundance. It's the above and beyond extra. So I like that for you. I feel like there is great progression, but it's all this emotional energy that you're entering into the month with, which makes sense because Jupiter just moved into Cancer, which rules over emotion. Jupiter's the planet of expansion. We had the full moon in Jupiter. Then we moved into Cancer season itself. The sun is in Cancer, which shines a big bright light on emotion. So there's been all this, and then the new moon in Cancer just happened this week too. We got all this emotional energy just expanding hugely. And so it makes sense that this is a big part of your journey, and but great reward from it. Temperance again coming in that you invested a lot of energy into this and now you're seeing the fruition of it. I like it. Your fortune cookie is surrender your fear of change. The universe is reminding you that you are cared for always. Whether you're afraid of a change in your job, your health, or a relationship, or if you fear aging or death, or like again, that change, that death and that rebirth, repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. So I love that for you. That's what they have for you, Guerrera. Means war right now. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. Greatly appreciate that. All right, Maria P, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp. How about your correct timestamp? All right. And then you have another one. We'll circle back around for that one eventually as well. So you'll have 2 timestamps. For the first one, though, via Z PayPal, thank you for that. So, Wally's feelings and thoughts after your date. So, his feelings and thoughts towards you after your date. Okay. All right. Just the one? Wow. Okay. And then what were his thoughts when you told him to sign your daughter's birthday card? All right. You told him? You didn't ask him if you wanted to. You said, sign it or else. He said he loves you and said he hasn't and will not do anything stupid. Oh, he loves you. And he said that he hasn't and he won't do anything stupid that to ruin us. Thoughts on that? All right. Okay. Okay. Thoughts on that. And then what else is coming for you based on current energies? What do they want you to know about what is coming for you here? Okay, I want that one there. Okay. So thoughts and feelings after your date. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We have the Four of Swords. This is a very restful energy, peace of mind, but there's also this energy of this is that safety feeling. And I feel like, we've been having that energy where he's been feeling kind of like fearful of the tower, this lightning bolt coming and of you leaving. But after the date and all this, I feel like the Four of Swords feels calm. Like they're like, okay. I feel like they kind of feel like things are back back to feeling more secure about things, if that makes sense. Just this feeling of stability and sense, all like that. And then after you demanded that he sign your daughter's birthday card, let's see here. We have the Eight of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. This is a great energy, I feel, because on one hand, with this Eight of Swords, it's about letting go of old thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that make us feel blinded and bound and trapped regarding this feeling of lack, of not being enough, of falling short. So, on one hand, they're like, it made him feel um, special. And again, not you wouldn't have him sign that if you were gonna dump him and, get rid of him. So that made him feel wanted, needed, kinda reduced his fears of that fear of abandonment, towards you. So this is between like, that's the feelings and thoughts between the 2 of you. But then he had this fear of, "I don't want to," you know, the fear of him getting to know your children, and then if something happens, he doesn't wanna be a source of pain for your children, so that fear is still there. But, so it's a good I feel like overall it feels good, because that's good that someone would care about that, not just like, "Well, that's your problem." I feel like they wanna make sure, of all of this, which brings us into your second, he said he loves you and he won't do anything stupid to make that happen, so that's good. Let's see what the on here. Well, you got the Wheel of Fortune. Definitely, positive card. It's happening for you. You have the Malika of Staves, which is the Queen of Wands. Very fiery energy, but it's very strong connection to the spirit world too. And trust your gut, trust your intuition with all of this. And I feel like you feel in your gut that it's true because I will kill you if you do any no, I'm just kidding. You're like, "You don't have to worry because you won't be living if you do that." I have my ways, right? No, but I feel like you trust that I feel like they mean it, right? And they have the Star card, which is hope and dream come true energy. So, I feel like they really mean it, and, they have all this energy, the 10 of Wands. I feel like they are willing to invest the energy to make sure this doesn't happen. Um, so they definitely have intentions. This is their intention. Whether they're capable of not, well, let's see here. What's coming for you guys? Let's see here. We have the Son of Staves, the Knight of Wands, fast moving, passionate energy. Well, we knew that. But it feels like fire. It feels like things, just a lot of passion, a lot of movement, a lot of energy. positive coming in here. And the Hierophant. A lot of commitment energy with the Hierophant. It's like the it's like a justice. Well, I don't want to say this. Don't jump to way far ahead. It's just like justice of the peace. It's commitment, it's contracts, it's, you know, kind of energy. Based on current energy, it does feel like there is this strong, committed type of energy that is coming for you guys. So, based on all of this, I feel like that is their intentions and that is what they want to happen right now, based on current energies, right? So, um, I feel like that's what Spirit wants you to know. We'll grab a fortune cookie here for you. We will circle back around for your, oh, those just fell down. Your second question, your second donation. So thank you for those. Let's see here. Let's do a power of surrender card for your fortune cookie. And see what we got going on. All right, here we are. You have surrender defensiveness. Oh, Geisha warrior. Yeah, she has a sword. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, then offer a clear, non defensive response. I like that. Defensiveness, of course, comes from fear, right? When we are feeling unsafe or out of control, our little inner child will sound the alarm. We'll go into fight or flight mode and so it's important, and that while we do that, right, we stay higher vibrational as much as we can. Gratitude, 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 not expectations, right? I had to get it in there one way. They're just like, we got to mention that every single one of your readings because it's a great reminder. Gratitude. What am I grateful for what they are doing, not what they're not doing, right? Because that pushes things away. Gratitude draws it toward us. All right. So that is what they have for that one for you, Maria. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Sarah Taylor, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. So thank you for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. And so you want a message from Spirit. What do you most need to know? All right. Let's find out from Spirit what you most need to know right now. Okay, got those. I do want these two here in that bottom energy leading to those two. Okay, so what we got going on here. Pardon me. So bottom of the deck, you do have the Two of Cups. Two of Cups is emotional choice energy. It's relationship energies too. And I feel like both are at play. That's funny. They're both at play here. Both emotional choice, and then also there's something about important relationship, which we will get to here. So I feel like the first, you have one card and four cards has to do with emotional choice, the power of emotional choice. And then you have two cards with an underlying card, and then two cards by them piled on top of one another, which is the specific important relationship. All right. So, emotional choice. You have the Malika of Cups, which is the Queen of Cups. So, this is bringing a focus in here. Queen of Cups rules over emotion with the King, but also gets a second. All queens get a second helping of cups. So, she's two parts cups, master of emotion, even more than the King of Cups. So very intuitive, very empathic, feels things very big. And with all this Cancer sign energy that we've been having go on here, of course, the sun moved into Cancer on June 20th ish for the summer solstice. A couple of days before that, we had a full moon in Sagittarius. Full moon emotional energy, Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter. the planet of expansion. Well, 2 days before that, Sa Jupiter itself, the planet moved into Cancer, which is emotional moon, mother moon, expansive energy. So all of that, and then we just a couple days ago had a new moon in Cancer. So a lot of emotional energy. If you feel like you're like, oh my gosh, what's all this emotion? My heart feels like it's stretched. You know, it's like when you eat too much and you feel like your stomach is like, oh, I feel like it's going to explode. That's what our hearts feel like right now, especially if you're empathic. So it's important to know emotional choice. If I focus on higher vibrational emotion, you're going to feel like bliss and ecstasy and a great amount of joy and peace and gratitude. Gratitude is one way to raise that vibration. Also, if we choose lower vibrational things focused, which are rooted in fear, we're going to feel that hugely too. There's no right or wrong. They just bring different energies and different um, outcomes. What's great here, though, is with this power of choice that you get to choose. So if you're tired of feeling one way, you can choose to feel another way. You know, we're given a lot of um, supposed to be and should be, need to be, and have to be. When that happens, this is how you're supposed to feel, should feel, must feel. But the power of choice says, no, I don't. I get to choose the emotion I feel. I get to choose the story I applied everything with my mind. I get to choose where I'm investing my energy and where my physical actions, what kind of energy. So I like that coming in here and the awareness of that. If you do an empathic bubble, if you've ever heard of doing that, where you can build a bubble that protects you from feeling everyone else's emotions in big ways so that you can differentiate other emotions to yours and what is of your inner child and what is of past life emotion. So you basically have four places you feel emotion from as a human character: what you're sensing from the outside world, what you're experiencing within yourself, what your inner child experienced when it was 7 years old or younger. And when you are feeling something from the outside world, the inner child goes, ooh, me too. And then past life emotion that's in our subconscious. It's one of the pathways to the Akashic record. So we can differentiate where those come from. Then we can transform them and transmute them and kind of handle them differently, right? So that's a big energy I feel like you need to know right now. You're very empathic. You feel things very big, so it's important for you to know that and the true gift of an empath. In fact, let me just grab it. If I haven't given this to you before, even if I had, it's a good reminder. Let me just grab it. I have two videos called The Empathic Bubble and The Real Gift of an Empath. What I'll do is I will put them right under your name. I'll just separate it all out here. Once I get done with this video stream, in the pinned comment where your timestamp is underneath it, you will also have these two episodes so that you can check those out if they resonate. But they will give you some guidance and help with that energy. All right, let's see what else around emotional choice. You've got the devil card, the shaker and the rattler. That tells you that um, it's like our shadow. It will rile things up to bring it to our face so we're aware of it so we can transmute it and change it. And so this is thoughts though that trigger the emotions that bring it. So old beliefs that are ready to be challenged. And what's great about Saturn energy is that if you do the work, you get the reward, which is usually freedom and then other energies too. So it is a time of it's happening for you because it's time to have things released. You have the judgment card, your higher self showing you things from a higher perspective. I love the transformative butterflies. So it is some old stuff that's been bubbling around below the surface. It's ready to be let go of. And yeah, here's the hanged man, which is like a cocoon hanging from a branch. And with this butterfly energy here, I really like this. change energy, this transformative, especially emotional transformative energy. And with the nine of stabs, the nine of wands, whatever this blocks that have been here before, it's ready to blast through and to it happens with you taking your power back, that you're able to step through barriers that were there before. So this is time. It's like you've been ready. You're ready for this. You're like, I'm ready to this emotional block that's been there. Boom, boom, boom. I'm ready to use this energy like a emotional thinner, like blood thinner, but it's an emotion thinner that helps some old emotion that you're ready to have it flow. It's like pouring Drano down the, down the sink. It's gonna break it up to have it flow. And I like this for you. Which brings us into this Two of Cups energy around specific relationship that's coming in here too. So you do have the hype. Wow, I love this. I'm sorry, I have to do it this way. Because you've got the number one, the number two, this is normally the magician and the high priestess. It's actually divine counterparts. You can't make this up because this is exactly what we're talking about, right? This individual that's coming into your life that is a spiritual match. Um, and it's a divine counterpart. It's just a beautiful fit. Let's see what the underlying energy is here. Yeah, Four of Cups, emotional stability. But this is like these are the past relationships you've had and that you were bored with, right? But this Ace of Cups, usually you'll see with the Four of Cups, someone just kind of like looking at these three cups bored, that leaned up against a tree going, look, those, I don't want what I've always had before. But then there's being offered that they haven't quite seen yet. There's this Ace of Cups being offered, which is a divine love that's being brought towards you. And so I like this. This is what has been all this preparation is to help you raise your love vibration so that you're drawing in someone that's a match of this energy, not what we've always done before and getting what we've always gotten. You're like, I'm done with that. So I love that this is all preparation for this that's coming in. And the Eight of Staves is where this is leading to. Let's see what's underneath here, too. Daughter of Coins, Page of Pentacles. So the Eight of Staves is about fast, fast, a lot of energy coming in. Um, and so it feels like this opportunity just kind of happens out of nowhere, kind of like that Ace of Cups that we're talking about on that Four of Cups that just there, and you're like, "Where did you come from?" And that's the way it kind of feels like. It's like you're focused on you and doing your work and your inner work and um, but focused on living your passions, living your life, not focusing like all your time on inner emotional work that just grows and expands it. Who wants to do that, right? I usually say 10% on inner work, 90% on gratitude, joy, uh, living our life and the things that make our heart feel full. And when you're doing that, that's when you bump into this person doing what you love, they're doing what they love, and boom, you guys suddenly it just sparks. And so I like that for you. It's not planned and like you're not investing all this energy into trying to find someone. You're living life, and that's what comes in the opportunity where you would be. Uh, Ending up with someone the rest of your life kind of energy. It's not a stepping stone energy, it's a long-term rest of this lifetime kind of energy. So I like this for you, Sarah. And we'll get you a fortune cookie here too. And I don't feel like a power of surrender. This feels more like one of these absolute affirmation cards. So here we go. Sorry, I got to put them all in separate. All right, let's see what we have here for you for your fortune cookie. All right, there we go. And you got, I like it. You, number 11, the universe is my biggest fan. And it says, lean on the inner knowing that the universe has your back and will support your wildest dreams. The universe wants to see you win and is cheering you on every step of the way. The vibrations you emit will reflect back onto your life. I love that. Right, so that's what they have for you, Sarah. So thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. All right. And then Twin Venus, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. There it goes. So thank you for your donation. I love your little sticker too. So good to see you. Glad to catch you in the praying mantis session with your cousin. Double trouble for sure. So, no contact for over a month. And since there is long distance between us, is he dating or being intimate with others who are easier to connect with? Um, Spirit repos. All right, let's take a look here. Oh, recommendations. Let's take a look here. All right. So I have to finish chewing my cough drop. Let's take a look here. Is he dating or being intimate with anyone else? We'll take a look here. And with people that are easier to connect with. And what else do they want you to know here? Okay. All right. Yep, I feel like those are it. What's on the bottom of the deck? All right. The answer is
no.
Just kidding. This is a no button that my host was cleaning out some stuff, and she goes, "Do you want this?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I can use those in my readings." So we'll see what this is about. Just because the bottom of the deck you have the Three of Wands, which is an energy of with the new information taking a different direction or a different route than I thought I was going to take, right? So that's why I feel like the no button might be appropriate here. But let's get the full picture first, right? So there's two sets of two cards around dating or being intimate with other people, blah blah blah. We have the Five of Coins, which is an energy of being left behind, left out in the cold, you know, kind of energy, and the Two of Coins. Yeah, I feel like they're kind of double dipping because they do have these issues of abandonment when they were younger, right? Feeling like I'm not enough, not, you know, and so if I don't feel like I'm enough, then I'm looking to other people to really try to fulfill that and, and that usually means one person's not going to be enough. Um, and that they're not you remember how it was when we were that way. We are all that way in the beginning when we're told all this stuff out here is supposed to fill us up and we realize it doesn't. Then we fill up on the inside and everyone becomes above and beyond extra. Well, they're not there yet. So I do feel like they're with the Two of Coins. There's a little bit of um, trying to fill themselves up by the outside world here because of that. What else do we have here? Yeah. So Five of Coins, Five of Cups. It's funny because we got those same two with your cousin's reading with that other person from their past. It's like, you guys are just our soulmates, right? You and your cousin. You're like, yeah, we draw the same type of person toward us, don't we? But they have that kind of energy of focusing on lower vibration, right? Yeah, Ten of Swords, a lot of expectations, a lot of supposed to be, should be's, need be's, have to be's. So I do feel like they do have a lot of this, you know, pressure of trying to live up to this, whatever they were taught here. A lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of lower vibrational emotions. Maybe mom might have been bipolar because there's this energy of really focusing in on I have to be the adult when I'm young, but I experience a lot of low vibration emotion, feelings of abandonment, left behind, left out in the cold. Um, and it's because it feels like it's the feminine emotional area that comes in here. And that does make sense too. Like when you're saying someone who's easier to connect with, I feel like, you know, how until we do our inner work, we tend to be drawn toward finding, you know, like if it's opposite sex, if we're heterosexual, we will, you know, if I'm a man, then I will end up being drawn to someone that is similar to my mother. If I'm, of course, gay, then I would be drawn to someone who's like my father, right? There's a kind of that energy that happens because we're trying to fill something up, but then we end up unconsciously, subconsciously ended up. And that's what they would be more comfortable with, which is not you any longer. Maybe what 10 years ago you might have been like, maybe that I would have matched your mom. Not even, I don't even think even 10 years ago, but maybe 20. But so, yeah. All right, let's see what else spirit wants you to know. Yeah, four of staves. Joy, happiness, celebration. There's a gathering. I feel like if you're going to a wedding or some sort of gathering that's a celebration, I feel like they're saying, "You deserve joy, you deserve this, energetic stability, and you deserve to be happy too." So, you know, and then what are these 3 cards? Yep, 10 of staves. They were a lot of energy. Because of these 10 of swords, a lot of expectations that they grew up with, they had a lot of how things should be as well. Hierophant, seeing things from a higher perspective, a clearer perspective, and the Knight of Swords, which is movement of thought and belief and mindset. So it is this change here and this realization. I feel like this is a good wake up call to go, you know what? Yeah, thank you that this is happening for me because I'm seeing in the mirror what I need to what I wanted to see. Excuse me, hiccup about myself, scared myself. But um, but it's also reminding me of where I was and who I am now. And this is a good reminder for you of how far you've come. And you're like, yeah, this isn't something maybe, like I said, 10, 20 years ago, you might have fallen into like trying to become who they thought you should be and blah, blah, blah. Now you're like, no. What else do we have here? Yeah. So trust with the tower that things are removed out of our life to make space for something that's more in alignment with our soul and where we want to go. So the tower card is then being removed, and the Ace of Pentacles is an opportunity that's coming up here for you, a new opportunity, something that's more in alignment, a new beginning. So we like that. You have the High Priestess, so a little bit of time with yourself just to reflect. And the Four of Swords, yeah, rest and recuperate. Four of Swords is about letting go of expectations too. And, using this as a good reflection time of, all right, what disappointment am I feeling in this situation? And what's the fear at the root of that? What's supposed to or story is there about, well, this is what is supposed to happen and should happen and need to happen. But with this new information that you're gleaning with that 3 of staves, the 3 of wands on the bottom, that is about, okay, with new information, I'm changing direction. I am learning and I'm adapting and transforming. So I like that for you. So hopefully that resonates. Let's do the power of surrender here. All right. There's this one here. What do we have here? Surrender to complete healing, complete transformation. Open fully to the loving, compassionate forces of the universe. that support your physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. I like this. I kind of, don't feel like we're healing. I have a little sticky note that I put here that says, I'm not broken. I'm burning away that which is not me. So it's not that I have to heal. It's like that means something broke or something's wrong. It's more so that I'm experiencing things that are helping me burn away those things that which are not me. They're the thoughts and beliefs that I took on, like paper mache strips people handed me, and I put them on where eventually I look like someone that was in a skiing accident, right? Where all these beliefs have me mummified except for my eyes and nostrils and a place for a straw, right? And you can see the toes and fingers, right? That's it. But then we feel so restrictive and so trapped at some point we're like, I can't move, and we start breaking away and ripping away that stuff. It's kind of like burning away, but this is like the ripping away of who isn't me anymore, these things, these old beliefs. And this is what, I feel like this is part of completion. Now we're just, you took off a lot of the big stuff. Now you're like, oh, I didn't see that stuck on there. Let me throw that away. These things are being brought up to free you from it. So I like that for you. So hopefully that makes sense. And that's what they have for you, Twin Venus. So thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. Right, let me bring, I think these are the last of them here. Oop, let me bring those two up here. And then that one here. Okay. So, Sonali Thakur, you are up. And there we go. So, thank you for your donation. You want to know what's coming in for love? Let me take a quick sip. All right. What is coming in for love for you here? Okay, I do want that one. Let's see. I do want this one next. And that one. And then that one. Well, and I do want that one too. Not that one. And then these. Okay. Not that one. What do we have happening here? All right. Well, the bottom of the deck, you do have the Chariot card, which is the power of choice that's coming in here. And so um, the next love that's coming your way here, because of this choice energy that I'm feeling here, it's like this isn't a like a fated relationship that you'll be with forever kind of energy. This is more of a stepping stone type of energy because it's choice. I do sense like there's, someone that you end up with later. I'm just tapping into your romantic lifetime in this lifetime because I'm seeing the pathways, but I don't see just one person like across all paths. I feel like there's like three. There's one and there's two and there's three, but there's little stepping stones that depending on what or you journey, you have these different interactions with people that help you understand things and abound your emotions and your expectations and stories, and just helps you chunk some stuff that doesn't serve you anymore. And so this one that's coming up is just someone that and we'll find out more of what that is here and where it's leading you here. But it's like um, you do delve in and do have your heart leaps into caring for others. I sense that mine's the same way. That's why my brain for a long time had to keep it on a little chain, or what do they call those? Like little toddlers have harnesses, because it's like my heart would jump in, and they're like, no, 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 come back here, you know. Um, but I do feel like your heart jumps fast and falls. It loves the feeling of love. I can relate. A lot of us can. Our heart loves to love. It doesn't really need to be. any particular person. It just wants to love. And so it'll leap, and then we're like, okay, well, I learned through that situation, and that's what kind of unfolds here. Let's find out more. Yeah, the Four of Cups. It is, the kind of the same loves. Here's all the stepping stones. You can kind of look at it. We have stepping stones that bring us eventually to the bigger love we're looking for. But they're one of these stepping stones. It's just confirmation of that. Let's see what these four cups bring in. Yeah, we have the Five of Cups. It does bring emotion forward. It's progression from the Four to the Five of Cups. So it does show you some lower vibrational emotions that are bubbling around that want to be felt and seen and transformed, that have been pushed down, and how your inner child will bring them up is through this other person, so that you can feel those and go, wait, this feels familiar. It's not what they're doing, but I feel like this strong emotion around something. So it's like, why am I feeling such extreme emotion over a small thing someone does? It's like, oh, because this is attached. This is a ripple from a bigger emotion that happened when I was 7 years old and younger. So it's happening for you to let this go here. Yeah, the Five of Swords. You got both the Five of Cups, the Five of Swords. Fives can be looked at as conflicting energy, right? Between head and heart. And you got both head and heart energy with the cups and the swords. So it's helping you with this transformation and change energy. Five is the number of change. And especially with stepping stones, they help us deal with this conflict by bringing it right here in front of our face, like a five. Psh, here it is. We're like, I can't get past this till I deal with it. And that's what comes in here. And that's good because it's going to bring you freedom through awareness, and then you won't bring that stuff into that bigger relationship. You're getting this stuff done in small stepping stones, which is where we want to do it. We don't want to do it, work through that stuff in our long-term relationship because all that stuff follows us. We want to do this and then we can leave it behind, right? Right. Yep. Two of coins, which is about balance and repeating cycles. And I feel like they bring up the repeating cycles. And the Ten of Swords is a great energy because this does represent, I'm sick and tired of trying to please everyone else. And so it does bring up the expectations you have around you are told a relationship is supposed to be, who they're supposed to be in the relationship, who they're just supposed to be, what the relationship is supposed to bring you, what you're supposed to put into the relationship, blah, blah, blah. All this heavy, exhausting rules that you're ready to ixnay and send in the other direction with that. So I like that for you because this is an important stepping stone, because with there's a lot of freedom that is gleaned from that. And it's like, I'd rather learn it really good through them, knowing that I'm going to leave that behind. And then when I go into the new relationship, I'll be free from all that, right? Which is what we'll look at here. This is where this is leading you. You have the Six of Staves, Six of Wands, which is victory feeling. Woohoo! You have the Three of Cups, joy and celebration. I like that. I also feel like this is leading you to a small friends group. If you don't already have like two besties that you know are going to be your best friends forever, this leads you to finding them, because they're going to be your solid foundation. The three of you will help support one another in staying true to yourself and not going back to old ways when you meet your new love that comes in. They'll be like, "Did you meet someone?" And you'll be like, "Yeah, how did you know?" It's like, well, you're shrinking, you're dimming your light. You're like, "Oh no, crap, not again." Because that's our old habit, right? They'll be reminding you, oh, that's right, stay true to you. And you keep your life. You don't diminish and destroy or lessen your life so much and make them your life. You keep your life and you share lives. This is the foundation that all of you help each other with. But there's three of you, like three peas in a pod here. And the Eight of Cups, yeah, you are leaving behind emotions that don't serve you, relationships, friendships. It leads you into being able to let go of the stuff that doesn't fit anymore, because you're building up your um, emotional bank to prepare for this long-term relationship. So it's really bringing in a lot of awareness around where you're investing emotional energy, both in external people, but also internal. What are you have you been extending emotional energy to keep things suppressed? And the Three of Swords, yeah, this is the letting go of expectations. Um, it's the heartbreak card. It usually has a heart with three swords stuck in it, but that's the Ten of Swords is what frees you from that, and realizing that heartbreak is really fear igniting in our heart. Um, Kind of like when we're startled by someone, but when we realize, oh, it's just my brother scaring me, we don't continue the loop of fear. We don't feel heartbreak. We just feel the ignition of fear and then it subsides. Well, emotional, with all the, emotional energy we're talking about before that, you're ready to let go of. That emotional energy just keeps us looping. That's why it feels like heartbreak or heartache, because it's looping, because we normally don't resolve emotional traumas or old emotional things right away. We have to work through those. Um, but we know it's not broken because when we get distracted, it stops hurting till we remember, oh, that's right, I'm heartbroken. Then we feel the pain again, the fear of, I'm never going to find love again. I'm not lovable or whatever. But we get over that. The more times we fall in love, eventually we're like, "Oh god, I'm gonna fall in love again," instead of fearing like we won't. We're like, here we go again," right? Right. Good stuff though. You have the Magician card, which is beautiful energy. I feel like the Magician energy is kinda like a fiery energy, that's bringing in, um, some, like the kind of person that will be headed your way in the future. But this is about taking your power back too, and you realizing that you are the one that draws things into your life. Right? You're the one that gets to um, either focus on gratitude about, what have you loved about relationships that you've had in the past. You're not gonna love one relationship because otherwise it would still be in it. So we're not gonna love like everything about a specific relationship, but we start looking into what is it I loved this about them and this interaction. I loved this. I loved this. We're basically and having gratitude toward the creator for it. I loved experiencing that. And I loved experiencing this. And we can picture it in this movie screen and feel the emotions. And then we have gratitude. We're basically giving the creator a list of things that we loved. And then we'll get more of that. So I like that. So that's what they have for that. Let's see here. Let's go to the power of surrender for your fortune cookie and see what else they have here for you. All right. Surrender your ego. Ooh, look at that. Maybe that's a picture of who's coming your way. Woo, woo, woo. No, I'm just kidding. Cultivate gratitude. Like I was just saying, be of service to others and come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. And the ego is those expectations of supposed to be and should be and need to be. So I love that for you. All right. So that's what they have for you, Sonali. Thank you again for your donation and many blessings to you. All right. And then Summa 27, also known as Moonlight. Yeah, I did find out one of my praying mantis members while I was in our session. They went and they looked and like, yep, there was an update from YouTube. They updated all the chats will have the tag or whatever that is instead of the other name of the channel. They're gonna be having them that way. So we'll see if they keep it that way, but that's what they did. So that's why it's showing up that way. But thank you for your donation. And your question is, will you get to the fifth dimension and will things get easier then? Well, we'll all eventually get there. In this lifetime? Let's take a look and see if we make it in within our lifetime. Let's see, for this human character anyway, right? Let's take a look. It definitely is easier in the fifth dimension, um, because it is collective energy. When we go to the fifth dimension, um, we're not separate. We don't feel separateness. We're collective energies. We're all collective. We're a collective now. We just don't realize it, right? We're all part of the human collective. Every emotion I feel each moment, I'm feeding into our human collective. I'm either raising it with love vibration or I'm bringing it down with fear vibration. It's like we're all constantly feeding it in. And so the more we're aware of the energy we're putting in, the more we're influencing. We're always influencing the human collective energy, the whole planetary collective energy too. Humanity is one, and we're a collective of, there's animal collectives, and like let's say there's a zebra collective, and they're part of the animal collective, which is part of the Earth collective, which humanity is part of the Earth collective. So there's all these different energies. Um, that make it all together, and when we're in the fifth dimension, we are aware of it, and we're feeling everyone's feelings. We're aware of all the thoughts and all the experiences, and we experience it as like one. We become an ocean instead of a drop, and so it is easier because there's not fear of rejection, because we're connected to that unconditional love energy. We're aware of the eternal being that we are. So fifth dimension is always easier. Um, it's just a matter of, uh, you know, experiencing it at that point. We are experiencing life in many different dimensions. So, like, I know a part of me is part of the sub collective of the Syrian starseed collectives. It's called the Phoenix, and they're Sirius B. Sirius B? Sirius A is the big one. Sirius B is the small little other, because it's two suns, two stars that rotate around something. Um, but it's a smaller collective, and I am part of that collective because my fire elemental spirit guide that helps me with my spiritual energy is part of that collective, and I'm part of that collective. And so I'm like, I'm existing there while I'm existing here. And I think they're seventh dimension or something like that. So we're members of all these different dimensions. We just can't comprehend being more than one being at a time, but we're millions of expressions across many different dimensions all at the same time, which they're in our brains, right? But let's take a look here. You have the death card on the bottom. So we don't go to the fifth dimension until we're dead. Yeah. We have the tower card, the death card, which makes sense because this iteration of humanity, we were third dimension. We have the ability, the earth moved into fourth dimension, and as people pass away and come back, if we come back as a human, we'll be in the fourth dimension, which is more highly aware, highly aware of the higher realms and our connection to the spirit world. So we can be in fourth dimension, which does make life easier, because we're aware of the unconditional love, and we're more in, I don't want to say control, but we're more in control of our choices, of our mental energy, our, thoughts and our emotions are in that. And we spend less time in fear and more time in higher vibration. So you do have the capacity to do that. But fifth dimension, after we're dead. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, you do have this ability to connect higher and higher. with the Justice card. You have the Ace of Swords down here. Helps balance the scales where we're not so much in, like we said, lower vibration. We're seeing things from a higher vibration. You do have your higher self, which you can connect to. The King of Wands is like the highest expression of our spirituality, which is our higher self. You can still connect with your higher self as this human, and you can walk hand in hand with our higher self more and more. And we can create more space within us to house more and more higher vibration. But to get to fifth dimension is like being part of a collective. And when we look at it that way, it's like in humanity in its current essence, we're not ready for that quite yet. We're getting there. I mean, we have a lot of huge progression of things that are happening in the world to bring the third dimension separate from the fourth dimension, because there's people that are in fear doing fearful things, and then there's people that are doing more loving things. That gap is becoming more separate where, you know, people are becoming more in alignment with the fourth dimension of the planet. And then those that are third dimension are dying off, either by their own hands or each other's hands. But so we're good. Daughter of Swords, yeah. So this is Page of Swords. Again, there's this higher knowledge, higher wisdom. It we it's like don't give up, we're evolving, we're learning. Every moment is an experience. It's not like our goal isn't to get to fifth dimension and sixth dimension, whatever. We're already existing on all dimensions in different forms, in different places. Maybe not as this human character, but if we're already experiencing, like I said, millions of different expressions of ourselves across all these different expanses, chances are we're already fifth dimension being somewhere. So why do I want to try to do it again? I want to just experience where I'm at now, right? And I don't have to try to achieve somewhere. But while I'm here, I can still understand and grow and realize what what makes it difficult is the stories that are in here, right? In fact, it's funny that I was just noticing the weekly podcast I'll be starting probably in July sometime will be the easier path. Because this path, human path, is not easy. I don't feel like, as long as we have our human inner child, that when it feels unsafe, out of control, it sounds the alarm and we revert back to fear. While we have that so much with all this fear amusement park that we're in, it'll be difficult to have an easy life as a human, but we can have an easier life the more we question these stories up here. Because that's one of the first things I'll be talking about is what makes humanity feel uneasy and like an uneasy path or a harder path. Stress starts here. Out here, there is no stress. I know what? Yeah, stress happens inside the human, not outside of it. Everything that's happening out here just is. But where the stress comes in is the belief that that action or non-action, word or silence means something about my lovability, my acceptability. We fear rejection, we fear failure, we fear not being loved, and all these stories we're applying to these things that are happening or not happening, being said or not being said. Go in here, get interpreted as low vibration stress, and that makes it uneasy, right? So all this awareness of the Page of Swords and that Ace of Swords is that I can learn to uh, be a storyteller, a master storyteller, where I take something that's coming in an old story, go, no, 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 I'm going to have a new story. I get to choose that. So stepping into that power is important. Yeah. You have the Four of Staves, the Four of Wands, which is joy and celebration. You can have a life that has a lot of joy in it. I know I'm living a life after doing a lot of inner work and a lot of changing of stories. I live a life of a lot of joy. Yeah, sometimes We still have, lower vibrational energies that trigger and come here and there, but for the most part, instead of being 90% in fear and 10% in joy, probably more like 20, 30% in fear and 60, 70, sometimes 80% in joy. And it feels great, you know? So it can make life feel easier. And we have the Eight of Wands, the more spiritual energy, which makes sense, especially since I left corporate life. Uh, I'm in a much more easier path because I'm connecting to a spirit. And then especially when you connect with spirit a lot, because I do reading so much and I'm connecting to a spirit on such a regular basis because of what I do. Um, that also allows us to connect and feel that love. And when we're able to channel that love energy, of course, it also changes us, right? You have the Daughter of Stabs, yep, the Page of Wands. Again, so this is connecting to that higher energy. And the Fool card. Yeah, the more we let go of expectations, the ending of an old cycle, the beginning of new adventures. It's amazing because that is like, because children are very joyful until parents start telling them, "No, you're doing this wrong, and this is not possible." And we learn from all that. Otherwise, we're just like, "Wow, look at the world full of wonder." And then we're taught, "No expectations. That is wrong. This is what that means. You can't do this. No, no, no." That's why 2-year-olds don't like being told no because they feel the restriction. They don't like it, right? So hopefully that helps. Let's see what your fortune cookie says here, Moonlight, Summer. What else about the fifth dimension? Yeah, surrender to rest and sleep, which you do now. Allow yourself to dream, allow yourself to rest, allow yourself not to be in a drive to become something. Realize you are a perfect mountain. You come down as this human character and all these other expressions to wander around the perfect mountain of who you are to understand yourself more. To prevent burnout, slow down. I'm doing that now. Honor your need for quiet time and peaceful sleep to rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit. So they're saying you're doing what you uh, is best for your body right now, which is good because we can get into that. Oh, I feel guilty. I feel bad. I should be doing something. That's expectations, right? All right. So that is what they have for you, my dear. So thank you again for your donations. I appreciate that. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Sean G, you are up. Let me grab this. I'm going to change it to ×3. I did see your other Cash App come through just a little bit ago. But I'll just add it into these right here. And then after this, we do have Maria P, and that'll be it for the donations. So thank you guys so much for hanging in there. Once I finish with donations, the free readings move a little faster because those are 1 to 2 card readings normally. So hang in there, hang in there. we will get to them here. All right. So Shanji, thank you for your all your donations via Zcash app. We'll dive in here. Let me take a quick sip here. All right. And let me get rid of my mustache. Of coffee mustache anyway, not this one. All right. So Sean, for your first one, you want guidance for the weekend. Let's see what Spirit has here for you for guidance for the weekend. Okay. I do want those. I do want those. Don't want that one, but I do want this one. And those. And those two. All right, let's see what we got here. 2 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3. So the bottom of the deck, boop, boop, you do have the Judgment card, which is about your higher self guiding you and showing you something different. It is a transformational resurrection type of energy. It's like this rejuvenation. I like underneath that too, you did have the Empress card, which is about creativity. You get that a bit too. But it is about nurturing Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, and being true to yourself in a way. And it's realizing what is you and what is not you. It's um I feel like there's this expansion where the things that are not you are becoming louder and louder and louder for you. And I feel like this weekend, you're getting some of that just really coming in fast and furious here. Yeah. You have the Eight of Staves and they call it the Malika of Cups, which is the Queen of Cups. Both of these energies, Queen of Cups, very intuitive. She's got two parts cups, which makes her very in tune with her emotions. And the Eight of Staves is a lot of energetic messages from spirit. And I feel like you are expanding where you're really picking up on a lot of stuff. You're really noticing a lot of synchronicities this weekend. You have been growing this anyway, but I just feel like with all this Cancer energy, Sun is in Cancer, Jupiter moved into Cancer. We had a Sagittarius full moon. We had just had a new moon in Cancer. So there's a lot of expansion of this emotional energy. And I feel like you're just like, wow, what the hell's going on? And you're just feeling this. But it's also, it's almost like vinegar and water. I just feel like it's the separation where the stillness is kicking in. And when you're shaking, like vinegar and water or whatever, vinegar and oil, something like that. Yeah, vinegar and oil, right? That's how you make vinaigrette. Bleh. But when you're shaking it, it all kind of looks the same. But when you let it settle, things separate. And I feel like there's the settling that's been happening. And you're like, whoa, I'm really seeing what's not me and what is me emotionally. Yeah. And you have the Hierophant, which is allowing you to see things from a higher perspective, and the Wheel of Fortune too, which is allowing you really this, I don't know if it's like an aha of sorts where you're realizing the stuff that you're experiencing is for you, the tune of for you, for the Wheel of Fortune, right? And it's you're seeing things differently and you're going, "Oh, now I get it. Now I see why." Like this thing, oh my god, excuse me. Are you tired of it? Sorry. I got some sun today, evidently. Hopefully, I don't fall asleep on you guys. I'm just kidding. Uh, it's spirit trying to get out. There's this, energy of like, wow, I get it. I get it now why this stuff is coming up and why I'm releasing this because this is not a part of me anymore. And this stuff is happening for me to see what is me and what is not, right? You have the 6 of Cups. Past energy. This is past emotions. I don't feel like this is past life. This is more emotions are being reactivated by coming across things, people crossing your path. But it's not to get with someone from the past. It's to realize the emotions, why I felt what I did, and how is it helping me transform things. Yeah. The 5 of Cups, the sorrow to help transform from lower vibration to higher vibration to let it all go. You have the Daughter of Coins, which is the Page of Coins, new opportunities, but it's more so to be able to see your true worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way and to help put your mind at rest with all this too. So this weekend just feels like some good reflection emotionally that's coming up and um, to take some time to let things settle with this 4 of Swords and rest energy too. Gotta let the vinegar and the oil have it time to settle so you could see what is not, you and what is you, right? The true you. You have the moon energy, yeah, so definitely Cancer energy is here, Cancer, Mother, Moon energy, Mother, Luna, especially with the Empress. It's time here to make sure you're taking time for you to reflect on your emotional energy. There's so much of it here. It's expansive energy. There's a lot happening. You have a great opportunity for all this. Yeah. And you have the high priestess who steps away, connects with spirit, looks behind the veil, dives deep into her emotions. So they're definitely, especially with the moon and the high priestess here, and you have the two of wands, which is our focal energy. Um, Spend time looking at the emotion, but don't like 20% max, 80% on higher vibrational emotion, joy, laughter, gratitude, unconditional love, connecting into the spirit world and allowing that love to fill you up and flow out. 20% on at max on any emotional, lower vibrational, emotional, transformational energy this weekend. But it is very much emotionally filled, but anytime you can use for yourself, take it, but definitely make sure you reserve time for it as well. So I like that for you. We'll pull a fortune cookie and then we'll go on to your second question. Okay, all right, we're just going to put those on the bottom and shuffle. There we go. Good enough. Good enough. And we'll do that. I do want to go into the absolute affirmations for a fortune cookie for this one. So let's see what we got here. Nope. That was going to be that one, but they're like, no, run, run. Here it is. So I am focused on success. You are. Be committed to your goals and naturally achievement will follow. When success is the focal point, you can accomplish anything with consistency and hard work. Every day, you discover new ways to enhance your ability to create abundance in your life. And we do that, of course, by having focus on gratitude first, right? But I love that energy for you. All right, so that's what they have for that one for you there, Sean. And then for your second one, a message from your future self on making it through this moment in your life, right? So, based on current energies, if you look at life as a bunch of pathways, right? And our current future self is if I stay on this current path and the decisions I'm making, this is who I become. So, this is the one we're connecting with, is based on your current choices, your current energy. But tomorrow you can make a little different change, and instead of being this, oh, I'm sorry, this one, you'll be this one. So slightly different, slightly different. Very rarely do we make such a big drastic that we are this person instead of this person. So we don't usually make drastic things unless something drastically happens in our life where we end up altering something huge in our life, you know. So just a clarification of this higher self or future self that you're speaking of is this one. All right. So what do they have to tell you about making it through this part of your life? I want that one. They don't want those. Put that in these. Okay. 2 by 2 by 2. It starts off with 3, and then it's 2, 2, 2. All right. Bottom of the deck, you have the Malika of Swords, the Queen of Swords. Balance between head and heart. So your future self is like, yeah, how you get through all this is not doing everything from your mind, not doing everything from your heart, but this wonderful joint partnership between your head and your heart. So I like that. Let's see what this means. The 3 cards that came out together here, you have the 4 of Swords again, rest and relaxation. Um, letting This is the mental balancing energy. It's letting expectations go. That's supposed to be the should be, the need to be, the have to be that are rooted in fears. The Malika of Staves, so the Queen of Wands, owning your energy, And un so there's a difference between expressing the unconditional love in our heart in our own special, unique way and being driven because we're defining ourselves by an outcome, a future outcome. So there is a difference between that, and your future self is telling you this that there is a big difference between the two. You do um, when we're driven because I need to have a certain outcome in a certain time, then I feel pressure. Then I'm all about the future, go, go, go. I'm not enjoying the moment. I'm just trying to get to the next moment, the next moment, the next moment, achieve all these things so that I can be happy when. Whereas the other is I'm happy right now and I'm celebrating what I'm doing, where I'm at, and I'm grateful for it. And I don't have to worry about tomorrow and hurry, 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 because I already am living my dream right here, right now, in this moment. My dream isn't um, projected into the future of a when something happens, then I can feel successful and feel like I'm living my dream and blah, blah, blah. It's detaching from that important piece here. Yeah, and then you have the victory. You can have this joy, this celebration, this feeling of victory in each moment. But when we set goals for ourselves, if I have to achieve this and I don't, right? We judge ourselves so harshly, and we put ourselves under a lot of stress as well. But when we are able to come to gratitude in this moment and about everything that's happening, then we can have that sense of achievement and we get to enjoy the moment and celebrate the moment. That's what else they want. Yeah, letting go of all the expectations, the 10 of swords. And here's the moon, Mother Luna, trusting the cycles of life. Interesting, right? When we have a lot of expectations, all these stories of supposed to be and should be and need to be, that's what sucks the life out of things because we're focusing on what's not happening instead of what is. When we understand that, l- everything in life is always changing in this humanity, the outside world never, ever stays the same. It's constantly changing. And when we define ourselves by the outside world, that's when we feel so unstable. But when we turn inward and upward and go, this is what defines me, then we're again, we have everything we need in this moment. We're not trying to become something, we're celebrating what we are in the moment. You have the Son of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords, the quest of foreseeing things from a higher perspective, and this death and rebirth energy that comes in with all this here too. It's interesting because when we look at I like the statement, like when you're 90 years old looking back on your life, what do you wish you did more of? Work? No, enjoyed the moments, right? And what is something going to matter in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years? It's like, yeah, what's going to matter is not what we accomplished, but how we felt and how we enjoyed each moment, right? And there is this energy that comes in with that. So there you go. And then you have the Son of Staves, the Knight of Wands, the Knight on Fire. Again, the fast moving energy. What's in this here, too? Yeah, King of Cups. Balance between heart and head. So you've got on the bottom of the deck, you have the balance between head and heart, and then you have the balance between heart and head. So both balancing energies. You start off with it, and then look at how wonderfully you balance it by having it your last card, too. But it's like your future self says, um, don't focus on me, focus on you, the current you in this moment, because you are all that matters, because that's where life happens in the now, not in the future. So interesting. I love that for you. Um, and then we'll pull a fortune cookie. I feel like we want to do the power of surrender for this one. And we'll go on to your third one here. All right. This is it here. What do we have? Surrender your belief in scarcity. Yeah, that's what when we're looking to the future for fulfillment, we feel like we're lacking something in the current moment. Wow, that's true. You're so smart. The universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. And we do that through gratitude, right? It's like being grateful for everything that is happening right here, right now, right? It's beautiful. All right. So that's what they have for that one for you, Sean. And then for your third one, which I just got, thank you for that. When will you gain a really good friend? All right. Human friend, I assume, because spirit's like, what am I, chopped liver? Best friend ever. Right. When will you find a good human friend? All right. Let's see what we got here. Those three. Okay. So at the bottom of the deck, you do have the star card, Aquarius energy. Yeah, I mean, Aquarians, we're the best friends ever in human form, if I do not say so ourselves. I'm just joking. But this is about wishing upon a star. And um, I like that energy of that because it's like, what do you consider? Like, what expectations, I know with the dirty word, what expectations do you have on what a good friend is? And I feel like that's what this is, the wish. Well, what do you wish for? Like, if you come across a little genie lamp that's only for like good friend, it's a good friend genie lamp. The only thing they can bring you is a good friend. No other wishes, sorry, just that. And they're like, "Well, what do you want from a good friend?" Write that list down and then realize and question, why do you feel you need that? And how can you be that for yourself? And how can you be that for others? Because, whenever we're searching outside of ourselves for something, it's a reflection of something that we're looking for inside of us, our own selves. Because we feel like we need something, where there's something missing inside of me, so I need that out here. Um, and that's where it starts. Then we fill up and we become that. And then because everyone is a mirror of us. And if I can find it within me, then I'll be able to find it in other people. In fact, if you can find those qualities that you're looking for inside of yourself, you might recognize, I do have some of these people in my life. I just didn't recognize it because I wasn't recognizing these things within me. And when we recognize it, the reflection of the outside world changes because we don't see the world as it is. We don't see people as they are. We're seeing through our own filters and through our own selves, right? Wow, that went deep. Let's see what else we have here. You got the Shah of Cups. Yeah, so there is someone out there, balanced between head and heart. There is perfect fit of an individual out there. King of Cups, Queen of Swords, those energies are, because they're the balance between head and heart, it is this, oh yeah, finding someone that just like fits us like a glove. It just fits very well. And so there is someone here that does that. Let's see what comes in here. Yeah, yeah, the Six of Cups. So that does represent someone who's very, very important relationship with the Six of Cups. You have the Six of Staves, Six of Wands, victory energy. But the sixes is someone very nurturing, and the Nine of Staves, too, Nine of Wands, which shows the barrier is us, in not finding the kind of friend that we're looking for. So that's when we start to look at how am I not being this to my for myself because I've been focusing on who someone's not. All these people are not being that. What am I doing? I'm drawing in people that are not being that. When I'm start to recognize the things that I want in a good friend, I recognize and I'm grateful for those things that are within me, and then think about this person has that quality, that one quality, that person has that one quality, and the more we're grateful for that, then we'll draw in, but it's about us raising our love vibration and then us having gratitude around those things. Because as we say, focus on expectations, we end up focusing on what's not happening and we get more of not happening, right? So it changes everything in our lives when we do that change, right? Yeah, the 7 of cups. I like this. This is determining what emotions you feel are missing in your life now, like we're talking about, but also what things do you appreciate and are looking for? Again, coming back to that, energy. The 8 of cups, letting go of relationships and emotions that don't serve anymore, and that'll help create the space. So there is this progression that's coming in here with the sixes and then the 7 to the 8. So there is this growth and it is that process, letting go of emotions that don't serve, but it's also relationships that don't serve so that we have that space. If I'm maintaining a lot of different ones, it's like, you know what? I'm kind of clearing house. I'm going to stop investing in these ones where I'm giving 70, 80, 90% and only getting 10, 20, 30% back because I need to build up my emotional bank so that I can have this emotion to give to this good friend, right? This best friend kind of energy. And you're the Shah of Swords, which is the King of Swords, which master of mind and seeing things from a different perspective, but brings in a lot of clarity. And I feel like that's what we're coming back to with the star card is I need to define what this good friend is. I need to understand it so that I can focus my energy on it and then I'm able to draw it forward. I don't know if you ever saw Practical Magic. It's with Sandra Bullock and I see her face, her redheaded sister that played in the movie. She's an actress, of course, in the movie. But anyway, Sandra Bullock, because she was heartbroken when she lost her first husband. Spoiler alert! It happens really early on, so it's not spoiling too many if you haven't seen it. But she cast a spell to have an impossible, you know, love. She cast a spell upon herself that it would have to be this person, and she knew if she did it like it was so impossible that then she wouldn't draw them in. Well, there was someone, and then she draws them in. So um, I like that, but you need to know who it is that you're casting a spell upon yourself to draw towards you. So hopefully that helps. So it's up to you how fast you do that and how fast you draw them in, as per usual. You're the one in charge. Yep. And surrender comparisons with other people. You have the keep your eyes trained on yourself, as I said. Focus on your own strengths, attractiveness, and power. Be your own best friend, right? And then you attract someone who's like that. So, anyway, that's what they have for you, Sean. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your multiple donations. All right. And then Maria P. We are circling back around. Let me put your other timestamp here. There we go. And let me remove that one down there. All right. So thank you for your additional donation via the PayPal. Let me take a sip. All right. So when Wally saw your cell flashing and a guy's name popped up, and you said, "People call me," and oh, I don't want anything with them. They call. Was there anything he didn't like today? Updates on Darks. Oh, okay, so you wanna know, um, when he saw that, what did he think? Okay, one there. Anything he didn't like? Okay. Today, updates on the dark side. Okay, okay. And then was he jealous? Thoughts. Okay, it's this one, and this one, and this one. All right. So what we got here. So when he saw the little popping up things and all that, we had the Son of Coins, the Knight of Pentacles. It's the slowest moving knight, patience, that energy. I don't feel like there's this big reaction. We'll find out their thoughts if there was jealous stuff, but overall, it just feels very um let me just be aware of it and let me just patiently watch. 'Cause I feel like they're just like they haven't noticed that before, whatever, and so if they see it happening all the time, then there can be, let me gather information, not just go off the handle, right? Let's see what else we have here. Um, anything he didn't like today. We have the Hermit card and the Two of Cups. Yeah, I like this. He he likes this. And he doesn't like the being alone to himself. I also feel like there's this he what he doesn't like is that he has to go back to a home situation where he's not by himself at home, right? It's like I want to be off on, you know, living on my own, not have to go spend time with you and then go back to, you know, the dark side. So I feel like that's the big thing today was needing to do that because, you know, it's like going from going from a hot tub and diving into a cold pool during winter, right? During summer, it's like, yeah, that feels great, but this is like during winter, it's like, ooh, get a chill. All right, let's see here. Updates on the dark side. Yep, 3 of Wands. So changes of direction happening. Let's see what that's about here. Yeah, again, these feelings of ending of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure, wanting to go on a new adventure. Page of Cups, is pursuit of happiness. And it just feels it makes sense with what they've been looking at here, that it just more and more when this is the kind of, adventure they want, which that is what they have with you, to go into that restrictiveness, into that conflict energy. It's like it's like jumping after being in a nice hot tub and you're feeling all good and warm and then jumping into a freezing cold pool. It just shivers you to your bones. Was he jealous when he saw all of that there? A little bit. We have the Son of Staves, the Knight of Wands. So that is a little bit of like it rises up inside. So I do feel there was a little bit of fear that popped up there. But the Four of Swords, they know here's this energy we had in your first reading about they like that feeling of letting go of expectations and that energy. So, they feel safe and they know and they start gathering all that data, you wouldn't have me sign your daughter's birthday card, you wouldn't be doing this, you wouldn't be doing this if, you were seeing other people or whatever. So I feel like it's like the reaction And then we have the Malika of Swords, Queen of Swords, balance between head and heart. And the Queen of Wands too. This intuitiveness and this energy coming in here. So I I feel like there was like a but then they start going, "No, no, 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 no," you know? So I feel like there was some, but then, but they realize you wouldn't be doing all these things, and you would have taken the chance when you just had it if there was someone else to end it with them. Or say, "Well, I don't wanna well, uh, we're just gonna be, you know, you're gonna be one of my himam, like a harem." And they're like, they know you and they intuitively know who you are too. So I like that. Let's see what's your fortune cookie. I feel like I want to end it here with the absolute affirmations. See what we've got here. Here we go. Yeah, I like it. I am in control. You are in control of your life, and that's all that you can control. You can't control anyone else's. All you can what can you can control? Your thoughts, your emotions, your energy, and your actions. Can you control anyone else's? No. You are seated in the cockpit of your life, and you serve as its brave and fearless pilot. If you experience turbulence, remember your position at the controls and adjust accordingly to navigate through any trials and tribulations with ease. You have full command of your destiny. So coming back to that, right? They are not your life. You are the ruler over your life. You're not going to give that away to anyone else. You get to decide for you, no one else. So I like that for you. So that's what they have for you, Maria. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donations. All right, everybody. So that's it for the donations. Those do take longer, obviously, as you've noticed. So, sorry, so the candle flickering back there. Hey, spirit. Um, Now we'll do the free readings, which these go faster. They're 1 to 2 cards, so, hang in there. We will get through these. We do have a few. We will start with I have 4 of my YouTube channel members. They do get, prioritization, so we'll start with those. Let me just bring those over here first. Make sure I have them in order here. Yeah, okay, good. Alright. So, up first, we have Livier Vergara. Hello, hello, my dear. Let's put your timestamp in here. All right. So, how is your birthday month going to be? Will you be having good job news for employment? All right, let's take a look here. So, we'll do one card for your birthday month. Okay. Did we do 2? No, that's just 1. And then, oh, here is your second one for job news for employment. So, your birthday month. Wow, look, you have 3 of staves. So this is with new information, you are choosing to go in a different direction. So there is a lot of adventure. There's you changing, going, instead of going the way I thought it was, I'm going to go this way. And it's an adventure kind of energy. It's not like, well, I guess I got to go this way. It's like, all right, it's a positive type of energy with that. So I like that. Will you be having good job news for employment? You have the Daughter of Coins, Page of Pentacles, which is a positive energy that's coming in there. It's about new opportunities opening up in the outside world, heightened opportunities opening in there. Um, you know, there is that gratitude energy that comes with it, which is important, right? Um, and we talk about this a lot, I know, but it's a good reminder of when I focus on need a job, want a job, don't have a job, blah, 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 that pushes job opportunities away. But when I come into gratitude and trust with the creator that, I love, if you have, a job now, Then you focus on what you love about the job that you have and the things you loved about the jobs that you have had. That gratitude energy and just picturing those things, see yourself doing those things that you love to do in the other jobs and have gratitude for it, then that opens up the conduit, allows that to be drawn to us instead of this lack energy will push it away. So something to be, cognizant of that as well. Right. So that's what they have for that, Olivier. So many blessings to you. Happy early birthday. All right. And then Moonlight, or better known as Summer 27, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Oops, there we go. So, and thank you for your donations earlier, Moonlight 5. So, money read for the next 3 weeks. All right, let's see. What do we have coming in here for the next 3 weeks for you? All right, here we go. They want that one and this one here. So, we've got the Four of Swords and the Eight of Staves. So, the Eight of Wands energy is fast moving energy. And I like it that you got this earlier, I think, about resting. Well, one of your cards was resting and relaxation, but it is about letting go of expectations as well. And so when we're focusing on what's not happening, we always talk about, abundance energy. If I focus on the abundance that I have now and have had, then I open up for more. And the more I do that, with the Eight of Wands, the faster that it comes in. And so, like, if I do a gratitude journal once a day, things will come in. If I do a gratitude kind of energy 3 times a day, 3 times as fast. If I do it every hour, every waking hour, speedy fast. And I feel like it's important to make gratitude an hourly energy if you want it to come in speedy fast, right? For the next 3 weeks, if you want things to come in and be drawn in, then we have gratitude for it. If I want to push it away, then I focus on what's not happening, right? So it is this energy of rest, relax, but while you're resting and relaxing, you can have gratitude as much as you want and just focus on all the beautiful things. I'm so sorry. It must be this moon energy. I was dreaming all last night too. You might be awake now. Hey, um, but there is this, um, as much as you can, gratitude. Oh, I was going to say about the gratitude journal is, um, it's like being aware. I mean, you can just think of everything. Like I've got two eyes that see. And if I have one eye, I have one eye that sees, I have another one. Wow. Double blessing. I have one ear that hears. Ooh, I have two. I have one hand, one arm that works. Oh, I have two. Some people have only one. Some people don't have any. If you've ever seen people without any limbs, I've got 2 legs. I can walk. I can walk without pain. I've got internet, I've got YouTube, I've got electricity, I've got running water, I've got air conditioning, I've got heating, I've got, refrigeration. There's so many things that we're just like, we take for granted until it's not there, right? But there's this focus of all that can really help. So that's what I feel like they're saying here. There's great possibilities um, for abundance, but it's making sure that we're taking as much time as we can because it can really move in fast if I, depending on how much I invest into that gratitude. Right. So that's what they have right now, Moonlight. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Happy Pill, you are up. So hopefully you got your my message in response. I didn't see a question about marriage in the chat in our session. So if you want to know about that, be sure to ask and we will get you squared away. All right. You want career and personal life for the next 6 months. All right. So let's see here. Career for the next 6 months. All right. And then personal life the next 6 months. Career for the next 6 months. I have the Son of Swords, the Knight of Swords. You do get a lot of clarity coming in here and this invitation to seek it. You might even, because Swords is about learning and growing and pursuing it too. You might look into what is it that you want to do, and is there something, any kind of additional training or additional education that can help you regarding your career too? And this is about the career that you're truly wanting, not the thing that you've always done, but what you want to do, how you uniquely want to share this with the world. Is there education? Seek it, look into it, pursue it. This is the quest for clarity around your career. Personal life, you have the Three of Cups. So you have this great joy and celebration, this gathering of individuals coming in here, which can be a social group, but it can also be like finding like 2 other people that are like really best friends. If you don't have those, it's like creating this little 3 3 peas in a pod kind of energy. I'm so sorry, I don't know why I'm yawning. Maybe I haven't breathed enough deeply today. But there is this seeking, um, you know, at least 2 other individuals that really just you guys keep each other, in balance and aware out of love and with joy and laughter, just keeping each other accountable for being true to yourselves and allowing yourselves to uniquely create the lives that you're independently looking for. And it's good to have those honest friends that will call you out on things in a loving way and go, "You know what? Are you slipping back into trying to do what everyone else wants you to do?" And you're like, "I am. Thank you for bringing that to my attention." They're like, "That's what we're here for." I love that, you know, the bond. And I feel like it's three, just the you and two others. Although they can be a subset of a bigger group of friends, but I feel like you get two besties from all that in the next 6 months for personal life. So I like that for you. That's what they have. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Sean G for your free reading. Thank you so much again for your earlier donations. Greatly appreciate those. And then you want to know, should you go to a friend's performance tomorrow or come home and get your work done? Or, what you're talking about earlier, go home and spend time with spirit, right? Let's take a look here. What is for your highest? So we'll do one card if you go to the performance and one card if you stay home. Should you stay or should you go? Ba, ba, ba. If you go to the performance, look at that star. A star is born. That's great energy. That's, hope and um, you know, very balanced energy too. But it's about being a bright light in a dark night kind of energy. You if you stay home, you have this hanged man energy, which is about transformation and seeing things from a different perspective. Two major arcana for either one. Um, I I feel like there's this energy of, you know, if you stay home and do work, it's like there's always more. There's always going to be time for work, and there's always time for all this stuff. But what would it mean to go to a friend's performance and to support them? Um, but I feel like you would also enjoy it with a star card. It's a very bright energy. The other one feels like you might not end up working anyway, you end up resting. So I feel like a night out, enjoying yourself without expectation. But I don't feel like there's a wrong, and there never is a wrong choice. It just feels like if you're going to do work, you probably won't end up doing work if you stay home anyway. So if that's the reason why, meh, go have a nice evening out. I feel is what they have there for you. All right, so that's what they have, my dear. So many blessings to you. Yeah, that's right. These are not. I was going to get a fortune cookie. We don't have those for free readings. All right. Excuse me. Came a little wheezing. Let me get another cough drop here. All right. So that was it for those. And so let's see here. So we got our other free readings. Let me dive into these. Let me bring them over here. And let's see how many I can bring over, and we'll dive in. And again, thank you for your patience in getting to all of the free readings here. So, Dijona 777, let's grab those here. All right. So, what is your energy like, Dijona? Let's take a look here and see what your current energies are, what Spirit wants you to know here. Okay. All right. Talk about energy. You got the Two of Wands and the King of Wands. So you got all this energy. There is this sense of stepping into your power and you deciding. And I feel like the energy that you're stepping into and that's coming towards you is showing you that you're not at the whim of the outside world. You're not like a little baby in a baby seat in the back of a car. Someone else is driving, that you are the one that gets to decide. The King of Wands is about it's like a being full of a king who has a throne room full of people with all of their, supposed to be's and should be's and need to be's and all their opinions. And the king is trying to make everyone happy until he remembers, wait, I'm the king in kingdom. I get to decide. And so they clear the throne room, leave all your opinions in a box by the door or on that table. Now I'm going to decide what I want for my kingdom, and then I'm going to put action behind it. The Two of Wands is about planning, and I feel like your energy is in the middle of deciding, what is it that I want for my heart, not what I think I'm supposed to do or what everyone is telling me, but what is it that I want to do, and make plans to do that. So realizing you're not at the whim of the outside world, but it's your energy, your focus is what is drawing your life towards you, is the important piece. So I feel like that's what they have for you there. Right. So many blessings to you. And then Crystal's Day, you are up. Let's grab your timestamps here. Okay. Timestamp. So whatever comes out around your business. All right. So Crystal's Day. Let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know about your business? Yeah, I feel like here you've got the Hermit card, the number 9, and the Three of Swords. Three of Swords is expectations equal disappointment. And the 9, the Hermit's card, is about stepping back and really connecting and going, what is it that I really want? The Three of Swords represents a lot of the mind of what I think I'm supposed to want and should want, and blah, 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 all that opinion of the outside world. Um, and I feel like there's this clarity coming in here. This is what they're talking about here, is what is it that, and kind of going back to what we just said in the reading right before this one, which is about, I decide what I want. What does my heart want? And what does my mind want? And we can do a good, balance between the two. But when we're depending on just the small t truths and expectations rooted in fear, then we have this energy of, it's so driven and out of balance, and it's like it bullies our heart because it tries to control our heart. Go, no, 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 no. It has to be this or else. It's afraid of what it would end up being and all that. And so there's this energy here of you know, allowing our heart to have a seat at the table, and then even allowing it to lead so that the mind will support the heart instead of the mind bullying the heart. So I feel like it's important to take some time back and just really realize what is my why for my business and why do I want the things I want? Is it because I want them? Or I feel like there's a need or a want, or there's a fear or these expectations of what other people are saying, because there's a great amount of freedom that comes with that. So I feel like that's what they're wanting you to kind of look at right now, since you're asking them. So there you go. Right. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Patricia, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. So, Patricia, you want to know, is your niece S coming home next week from New York for the 4th? All right, let's take a look here. Based on their current energies. All right. All right. I believe so. We got the Sun card coming in, which is abundance and brightness. And the Malika of coins is the Queen of Pentacles, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, Harvest. So very bright energies, very positive energies, nurturing energy. So I feel like this is a very positive, wanting to come home, wanting to, feel this togetherness. And is that where Mama lives? Because I feel like they are looking forward to the nurturing energy that they get as well. There's this child play energy of Leo energy with the Sun card too. So I do feel like that is their intention based on current energies. So I like that for you, Patricia. So many blessings to you. All right, and then love is the most powerful force for your free reading. Thank you again for your donations earlier today. And so your free reading is the person on your mind making excuses just to talk to you. All right, let's take a look here. I'm going to bust them out. Let's see what's going on here. I feel like here with the 8 of Wands here, this is about communication and messages and energy. They have the 7 of Swords. The 7 of Swords is an energy, though, too, of like it's trickster energy and it can be deceptive energy. But in this case, I don't feel like it's, like a conniving. I feel like you said, it's making excuses, pretending, because they just this 8 of Wands energy is energetic attraction, can be physical attraction too, but they definitely have energy towards you. And so I feel like you are seeing right through their little facade, the little mirage. You're like, no, no, no. I see what's going on here. And I feel like you are correct. So that's what they have for you, love. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Def 107, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. And he says, so you'd like to know, can you tell you about your biological father? Yeah, we can see what spirit is willing to tell you about your biofeedback, your bio father. Let's see here. They do want this one and this one. So what can we know about them here? Wow. Well, they are a go-getter. Have the Ace of Wands and the Magician card. Both of these are that kind of magic wand energy. Usually the alchemist, they call it the alchemist, usually the magician. They have one hand towards the heavens with a wand, magic wand, and then one hand pointed at the earth, being a conduit, bringing this. But they're very much an action-oriented person. Probably a fire sign with all this fiery type of energy that I'm picking up from here. But it's all this new energy, probably in Aries with the ones, because they're the babies of the zodiac, the first sign of the zodiac. So very much a go-getter, someone who like beginning things, very energetic, very much like a go-getter kind of energy. So you might have picked up some of that. Um, just from them in your genes, um, and they tended to be a little bit of a fool's rush in energy, lower vibration Aries, which is act before you think, which we learn a lot the hard way that way, and they did learn a lot the hard way, in their life. I feel they learned about getting smacked a lot growing up, about saying things and going, "Oh, I shouldn't say that." Smack, you know? Um, but I do feel a very adventurous energy, a very, um, I wouldn't say a joyful energy, but it's it's because they were a kind of a frying pan kind of person. They would heat up fast and cool off. The problem is that they were around a lot of slow cookers, people who took time to heat up and then time to cool off, but they were already over it, and people were still holding grudges and still punishing them for things that they were like, "That was, like, minutes ago. Why are you still carrying that?" They didn't get it, that not everyone was the same way they were. But I like this, like, I feel like they kind of had extremes of joy and extremes of passion, meaning anger and other lower vibrational things too. Um, I feel like balance was not, uh, in their vocabulary. So a couple little things just to know about them. But I like that energy. So that's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Yadi Cologne, you are up. Thank you so much for your donation earlier. Let me get your correct timestamp here. Anyone to know? So this job is a different field, and you're excited about the potential of the job. Do you see you getting the job? All right, let's take a look here. So yours was the job interview before, which you're going to get your other one, right? I think is what spirits bring it back. So you're wanting to know, based on current energy, do you actually get the job after you get this other interview, right? So let's take a look here. Yep, two cards, boom, boom. All right. So you've got the Three of Swords and the Malika of Coins, which is the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is about Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. It is beneficial energy. It's a fruitfulness energy, and new birthing energy. The Three of Swords is about expectations equal disappointment. So it feels like here that I don't know. It just feels like you don't with this Three of Swords, but that it's for your benefit because of it. Um, so what I feel like is like they interview you and they're like, you know what? We have like I feel like there's this like um well, we feel like there's this other job that you'd be a better fit for us with us. Would you think of been doing this? And you're like, what? And I feel like it's even a better something more that you would like to do even more. And so they're like, well, we could offer you this, but we have a candidate who would be a better fit for that. But it's because we would rather have you do this other thing. And I feel like you're like, what, really? So it feels like it's a better offer to do something else within their company than the one that you're applying for. And that's why I feel like that combination, it's, you know, no, you don't get that particular one, but there's something else that they offer you that you feel like is even more beneficial, if that makes sense. Right. So that's what they have for that for you. So many blessings to you. Right, let me bring some more of these over here. Okay. these that will fit for now. So, Feria, I think, is how you might say that. um, so sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. So you want to say, do you see me and AG getting into a relationship in the 3D? And if not, why? Okay, let's take a look. So do we see you getting into one? Let's try that again. All right, and if not, why? All right, let's take a look. So we have the moon energy coming in here, which is a good energy. It cycles. It's new moon, especially with the new. So it does. There's a lot of emotional energy that makes its way to the surface and comes in here. You have the temperance card, which is matter of time. It does take time for it to, it's kind of a patience card. I know. Yay, we like that, right? And even the moon is cycles, takes cycles. It goes through its process. So it does feel like they're based on current energies that it does happen. It just takes time for it to happen and to unfold. So um, trust the cycles, uh, allow for patience. I feel like are the two big energies that are coming in there. So not much more to add with that here. Um, yeah, moon Moon energy does seem to be a big impact, so I don't know if either one of you are Cancer signs or water signs or your moons are water, but I feel like moon energy, being aware of it, really is helpful to understand why are they acting that way, because, of course, each of the moon goes through the entire zodiac every month, every 28, 29 days. So every 2 to 3 days it changes signs and energies. So you're like, "Why are they all over the place?" And you're like, "Oh, they're water energies." So if you're aware of that even for yourself, it helps the relationship. So I feel like that's important for you to know there, Feria. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Nisha Bell, is that correct? You are up next here. All right. You want to know what's coming to you in love? Let's take a look here. All right. These must be your cards. All right. So, what is coming towards you in love is in your hands. I know, right? We have the King of Wands, which is about you deciding um, where you're investing your energy and what you're drawing in to your life. The Three of Swords is about expectations equal disappointment. And there's like this, it's like a nudge from spirit to really look at what are all these expectations you have about who is someone supposed to be? What are they supposed to bring into a relationship supposed to be? These are expectations. Rules and um, again, expectations that have been created over time, all this opinion about who someone is supposed to be, what they're supposed to bring into the relationship, how a relationship is supposed to start, how it's supposed to unfold, who am I supposed to be in the relationship, what is it supposed to bring to me? All that is exhausting and it sucks the life out of relationships. And that's why it's like being aware of if I'm focusing on those things, what we end up doing is focusing on lack. We focus on what something's not being instead of gratitude for what we love in relationships and what we love about someone, what we love about the relationship and what it's bringing for us. So it's a change of mindset and a change of energy focus with this. And um, because if you continue to focus on that, it ends up being lower vibration. It ends up being lack energy, and we draw in someone and experiences that match that lower vibrational energy of lack. more drawn in someone who doesn't meet up to all that stuff. When we focus on gratitude for what we have in love, it doesn't have to be romantic. Like, what what love do I have in my life right now? I'm so grateful for this and this and this. And then romantically, you can even think about what you've loved about certain situations in the past. And as you focus on that, then you draw in and you are telling the universe, this is what I would love to have in a relationship. Then you draw that in. So I feel like it's transformational energy right now and awareness around questioning these thoughts and these beliefs because you don't want to continue to do what you've always did and get what you always got, right? You want to bring in something higher vibration, and that's how you can do it. All right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. Many blessings to you. All right. And then Premia, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. So what's coming towards you in July? All right. Well, I like this progression. The Nine of Swords is the nightmare and insomnia card, but we like that the Daughter of Swords, which is the Page of Swords, comes with it, which that's the gift of the Ace of Swords. You're able to see things from a higher perspective. And the Nine of Swords is like, you're getting to the point of exhaustion of trying to live up to all these expectations, trying to be who you think people want you to be or do what you think you're supposed to do. And it's exhausting. And the Nine of Swords it's called the Nightmare Insomnia card because it's always on your mind. I've got to do this. I've got to do this. I should do this. I must do this. If I don't do this, this means this about me. And there's stress. But the Daughter of Swords, the Page of Swords, is about I get to see things from a higher perspective, from a place of unconditional love, and joy and laughter and peace and gratitude. It's double-edged because it allows me to see things differently from that higher point of view. It allows me to cut away and transmute and transform these old rules, all this opinion about who you're supposed to be and should be and need to be and have to be and must be, blah, blah, blah. It frees you from this. And so I feel like July is a month of expectations coming up and you feeling disappointed and stuff and people expressing disappointment in what you're not doing or not saying or that what you are doing and what you are saying and you're just like I just don't wanna worry about this anymore, and there's this freedom that comes with, "I'm done trying to please other people because I can't please anyone all the time, I can't please everyone for a second either, so there's always gonna be someone disappointed in what I'm doing or not doing, saying or not saying, so I'm gonna do for me what I wanna do, it's my life to live, not other people's life, they can live theirs. I'm gonna release all my expectations on them." And I'm gonna release all the expectations I have in myself and not worry about what other people are. So July does feel like a month of kind of freedom energy. So I like that for you. All right. So that's what they have for you. Many blessings. Then Ashish, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. So Ashish, any messages from your higher self? All right, let's take a look here. What does your higher self have for you? I do want that one. What else? And this one here. Alrighty. Wow. It's funny. I look at the King of Wands as your higher self because Wands energy, which you have the Ace of Wands and the King of Wands, is an energy of spirituality, and the King being the highest expression of spirituality is your higher self. So your higher self is here saying you have so much more power than you've been taught to believe. The Ace of Wands that the King holds in their hands does tell you that you are the ruler of your life. Your energy is what draws things towards you. That you're not on an out of control drama train that's about to leap off the tracks and explode. And you're not a little baby that's in a baby seat in the back seat of a car and someone else is driving, but that you are driving the bus of your life. You're behind the wheel. Creator is your co-creator. They're in the passenger seat, um, handing out the snacks, you know, handling the air conditioner and the heating and the radio and whatever energy you're focusing on. with this Ace of Wands, they're plugging into the GPS and going, "Okay, that's where you wanna go," and all of your spiritual posse are all the puppies in the backseat just excited to be going along for the ride, um, but you are the one deciding where you're wanting to go by where you're focusing your energy, right? So if you're focusing your energy on what's not happening in your life, what you feel is missing, and you feel like you have a need, which is lack energy, or you're wanting something because you feel like you're lacking something in your life, then all that is pushing things away. And that's the journey you're having is more lack, more things missing. But they're wanting you to know that there's a different approach. And we've been taught as humans to focus on what we fear, what we hate, what's missing, what we want, what we need, but that's all lack. If we focus on gratitude for what we do have in our life right now or have had in our life, we open the conduit and we attract more of that. So there's all this energy of you get to decide, and that you've been told a lot in your life about what you're supposed to do and who you should be and what you should do and blah blah blah, all these opinions. But there with this King of Wands is like, no, no, you are the king of your kingdom. You get to decide. Everyone else gets to decide for themselves, but you get to decide what you want in your life, and whatever you focus on is what you draw in. So awareness a lot around that, that you are so much more powerful than you've been ever taught to believe. All right, so that's what they have for you, Ashish. So many blessings to you. All right, and then Victoria Ramirez, you are up. You were at 22626. Look at those repeating numbers there. So, will you be getting a new job by September? So, based on current energies, will you be getting a new job by September? So, they did want this one too. Sorry, crunch, crunch, crunch. Sorry, my cough drop. You do have the Eight of Wands and the Four of Swords. If you can let expectations go, Eight of Wands is that there is a job that comes in for you in September. Four of Swords is they're sleeping on the Ace of Swords, and then the Three of Swords are usually on the wall, which are our expectations. Supposed to be, should be, need to be, have to be, must be, need, want, lower vibrational energies that push things away from us instead of drawing it toward us, right? But when we are able to kind of sit in this trusting energy, right? And we probably talked about already, the more you are grateful for the jobs that you have or have had, and specific things about them, and you're grateful for it, that's what draws in things. But if I'm focusing on fear around not having a job, not getting a job, if I focus in on I want, that's all lack energy. And when we focus our energy on lack, we get more lack. So it's important to put our mind to rest, put these expectations to rest. And when we do that, then it just opens the conduit and it draws it in. So it's up to you. You do have the possibilities for it, but we got to get out of our head around that. And it's about sincere. So like think about something in a job that you really loved. See yourself doing it. Remember specifics in your brain around it. Feel that emotion around it and have gratitude for it. That's how we do it. So hopefully that helps. That's what they have for you right now. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Divine Lovely, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. What is Spirit's advice about your new business? All right, let's take a look here. What is Spirit's advice about your new business? Okay, got that. Don't want any of those. I do want, actually, I feel like they're going to give you three here. You have the Son of Staves, the Knight of Wands, which is like a quest of stepping into your power. It's the fastest moving knight. Let's see what else we have here. Wow. So definitely this power of choice energy. You got the Eight of Wands. So there's a lot of speed happening here with all three of these. You have the Chariot card, which is more horses. Horse energy is action, fast movement, but you got 2 other cards that are like super speedy, fast, go, go, go energy. And I feel like what they're saying is there's an opportunity here. You have this um, magnified, let's see, what are we going to call this? Magnified attraction energy. Like whatever you focus on, usually whatever we focus on comes in fast. Higher vibration stuff comes in fast. Lower vibration stuff comes in kind of slower. But this is like everything you're focusing on, like the higher vibration, very fast, lower vibration, fast, faster than normal. And so it's really important for you to be aware what you're focusing on with your power of choice. Every moment is a choice of story with our mind and our thoughts. Like, what does this mean? And whatever I decide is what unfolds, right? What Uh, so a mental thought and story, an emotion of how I want to feel in the moment, the energy I'm investing and focusing and drawing things, toward me. And then my physical actions, I get to decide all that with this. But when I'm doing that, I'm either focusing on higher vibration, which is of unconditional love and joy and laughter and peace and play and gratitude. That draws that stuff toward me that matches it, or of lower vibrational fear energy, want and need and lack and what I hate and what I fear. I draw stuff that matches that energy toward me, lack in that. And so it's very important here. Feel like the advice they have is understand what it is you want and then start gratitudes, create different stories, different. If you don't like where the way things are headed and what you're drawing in, then you change your energy because you're the one that's drawing it in with your power of choice. And all 4 of those each moment, we're always making a choice. The energy is always flowing. So it's about being conscious of your stories, being conscious of the emotions you're feeding and the energy you're feeding in the physical actions, how you're doing them is so important. So I feel like that's the advice they have for you right now, Divine Lovely. Hopefully that helps. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Mika Khan, you are up. Let's grab your timestamps here. So, Mika, I want to know, can you use Atlas with Tridel for DS? How will be the results? All right. So, based on current energies, can you use that? And if you do, what would be the result? Of course, disclaimer, I am no technical professional. See the disclaimer, you ultimately have to make your own decisions. Tarot's for fun and entertainment purposes, right? So can you use it? 6 of Cups tells me it has been used in the past. 6 of Cups is like old ways, old things coming back. So it feels like it has been used for it in the past. The results, well, 9 of Cups is like a dream come true. So it's emotional fulfillment and overflowing. So definitely feels like good results here with all of that. So it does, you might research and go and find out because it does feel like it has been used for that in the past. And it feels like a great outcome with all that. So that's short and easy reading there. All right. So that's what they have for you there. And let me bring more of these over here. Let me just make sure I'm doing these in order. And hang in there, everybody. We're getting close to here. And Sean G, I just saw that you made a donation. So I will catch that on the end here. After I'm done with all the other free readings, just because they've been waiting for hours and hours. So I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. So, Sun and Music, you are up. Let's grab that timestamp here. You want to know when will R reach out to you? So, based on current energies, when will they reach out to you? Okay, I feel like it's these 2 here. All right. You got the Queen of Cups with the Malika of Cups. and the 6 of wands, the 6 of staves, which is it's a victory and movement energy. But this is interesting with the Queen of Cups because the Queen of Cups, she's the master of emotion. She not only just rules over it with the king, but she gets a second portion of cups, which is the master of emotion. And but there's this intuition here and following your intuition, following your heart. Because the 6 of staves, I'm getting like this, they're usually up on a horse like this. And it's like, I feel like they will reach out when with you following your heart, and it leads to you kind of standing out, being celebrated, being lifted up, where you're standing out from a crowd in some way, and they spot you, and then they reach out to you because they see you standing out. So follow your heart and see where it leads you. Live your passion, follow your heart, because I feel in doing that, that's when you get this energy of being seen. And because they see you, that's when they reach out to you. Whether it's on someone's social media post, someone took a picture of you and went, oh my gosh. And so you're standing out, or something along those lines where you're being brought out. But it's because of you following your heart is how you end up being standing out, which then triggers them reaching out to you. So hopefully that makes sense. But that's what's coming in for you. So many blessings there. All right. And then Cat Goddess, you are up. Six, seven, there we go. So Cat Goddess, and you're so funny. I was reading some of your comments as I was going through, grabbing all the questions. So thank you for being active in the chat and sharing your insights. So you'd like a general reading? Let's see here. What does Spirit have here for you? Okay, these two. Wow, look at this. Ace of Wands with the Ace of Staves and the Ace of Pentacles. Two aces. Very powerful combination. Even when you look at it, it can kind of look like a number 10, and it's endings and beginnings energy that's coming in here for you. But I feel like it's your energy and your decisions with this Ace of Wands that brings these new opportunities that come up for you. And I feel like you've been, working on focusing on gratitude, focusing on where am I focusing my energy, you know, and if I'm focusing on lower vibration, I'm getting that. If I'm focusing on higher vibration, gratitude especially, I get more of that. And so I feel like you've been really like paying attention to your intention so that you're drawing in things that are more in alignment with what you're looking for. But I do feel like there is this ending and beginning energy, and I love that the 10 energy. I guess it's really this way. It was an O1, and you have a 1-0 that switches to an O1, which so I like this. It's a period of change, and it's not they're not major arcana, so it's not like, oh my god, huge life changes, but it's enough changes that are happening in the day in, day out kind of area of your life that you're noticing it. And then the more you're noticing this energy and making adjustments, because you're understanding the impact that you are drawing things into your life, they're not happening to you. They're not being done without, oh, I didn't know I wanted that. It's your energy is what's drawing things. And I feel like you're like, ooh, I don't want that. It's like a little kid going into a donut shop. And all they do is, the glass case with all the donuts, they're pointing at all the donuts they hate. They end up with a dozen donuts they hate. The baker gives it to them. They're like, "What is this?" And they're like, "These are the donuts I hate." Well, that's what you were pointing at. And you're like, "Oh, like, give me that back. And now point out all the donuts you love. I'll give you a dozen of those." And we learn to point out what we love and what we want instead of what we hate, right? So I like that. I feel like that's what they want you to know right now. Cat Goddess, so many blessings to you. right? And then Benita Bala, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. And you want to know, how will Sean treat you in a committed relationship if we were to get into one? All right, based on current energies, tell us what you can here about this, how he would treat you. All right. So the seven of staves, seven of wands is about, you know, not dimming your light, not needing to ask permission to shine. It's like being celebrated in a way, being lifted up on a hill. And I feel like they would be like, they want you to be true to you and true to yourself, because that's what they were attracted to with you. And the 10 of staves, the 10 of wands, is a card of burden, but it's also a card of harvest. And it's funny because when I saw this, it's like, the phrase that I used to say to people, "Yeah, I'm high maintenance, but I'm worth it." That's kind of what I put in here. And it's like, how do they treat you? It's almost like they treat you like they uplift you, and they're like, "Yeah, invest a lot into who you are, but it's because you're worth it." And I like this sense of honoring you and celebrating you, and not trying to dim your light and control you. I feel like in the other, that it's that kind of energy, where you're lifted up, not put on a pedestal, but that um, they love who you are, right? So hopefully that helps and that makes sense. That's what they have for you there. So many blessings to you. Sorry, let me just bring these up here. All right, and then Marie Celentine, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. So Marie, you said, what will happen with you and Philip? Will you break up? Will there be a breakup? Will you reunite if there's a breakup? Okay. You said you cried so much. He looks at other women. He flirts with other women. Then
this is my last word. No.
if he's not, if he's going to do that, then he doesn't love himself, so he can't give you the love you're looking for, right? But let's take a look here and see what they have here for you, Marie. What does Spirit want here for you? Or what you to know around this? So, so what will happen? Are you guys going to break up? I would say it's up to you, right? I would say you break up with them and say, if you're wanting a committed relationship, obviously they can't give you one, so it's time, to allow them to go live the life they're wanting, so that you can bring someone into your life that can give you and is capable of that, right? Yeah, because we have the King of Wands here, and I feel like they're still trying to decide what it is that they truly want. But this is also this energy of, you are the ruler over your life. They get to decide for them, but you get to decide for you. And um, whether you break up or not is just not just their decision. That's your decision. Um, but with all this energy too. You have the Eight of Swords. There is a lot of, you know, thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that blind us and bind us and keep us trapped and keep us restricted here. And, with this energy here, it's like it's still up in the air, but so the decisions haven't been made. If I can have one, two, three people, and all of them put up with me being with more than one person, feeling like, I want you for me, but I'm like, well, you can have a third of me, but they're going to have a third of me, and they're going to have a third of me. If you're okay with that, well, then there you go. But if you're like, no, I want someone you deserve to be with someone like yourself who gives everything to someone else too, right? That generally wants to be together and committed. And so if you're on a committed relationship, I feel like there is some things that they can't give you, that you need to decide this for yourself, not whether they, you know, um, if they flirt and they look at other women, chances are that there is more going on. Because if they don't give you that respect in front of you, what do they do when you're not around, right? And so when you look at all this, you can realize, okay, the people are mirrors showing us what we want to see about ourselves. And so if they're disrespecting you, then it's a reflection for you to realize, how am I disrespecting myself? Well, with what energy is coming in, and I resonate with this because I had, out of my 5 relationships, 3 out of 5 did go outside the relationship, even though we were committed. And the other 2 treated me in other disrespectful ways because I was disrespecting me. I was giving up my life for someone else, and that's disrespecting me, because if I'm telling my higher self and myself, "You don't matter," their opinion matters more than yours, then they're reflecting back to you what you need to see about yourself so you can set yourself free, right? So hopefully that helps a little bit. I know it sucks, but it's a great lesson that we will continue. Only took me 5 relationships that were anywhere between a year and 3 year each before I realized, oh, they're showing me what I want to see about myself and how I was disrespecting myself. And then after that, you don't need those teachers, and you can draw in people that match your self-respect. So that's an important piece for you. Right? So that's what they have for you, Marie. Hang in there, my dear. Many blessings to you. Right? And then Alicia, you are up next. So Alicia, Anusha's current feelings for you, no contact situation. All right, let's see here. What's going on with Anush? What's their current feelings towards you? All right, all right, all right. Well, we've got here the Shah of Swords, which is the King of Swords. Big thinker. And then the full card here, the 0 card, which is the beginning of a new adventure free of expectations. Their current feelings, they're in this energy of not wanting, it's like a lion who does not want to be caged. They don't want expectations. They don't want to have intentions. They don't want to have any of this, coming in. They just want to be able to live freely and just be on adventures. Now, before they even met you, they had a long list of expectations that they was put into their minds when they were growing up. And I feel like there was strong feminine energies that were like, this is what you have to do, and this and this and this and this and this. So they already have this idea that all, you know, people, um, especially women, for them, from their sake, from their standpoint, um, all have this cage waiting to cage you, waiting to restrict you, waiting to change you, waiting because of all this experience. Even before they even met you, and then they meet you, they just naturally assume everyone's the same. Everyone has the same stuff. Um, and so this is their current feelings that are coming in, is they're afraid more of someone trying to change them, and afraid of disappointing people, that they will avoid it. And I feel like they keep starting new relationships. As soon as they even get an inkling of a cage, they're gone. Um, and that's what's going on. And until they deal with that on the inside, they will continue repeating that pattern over and over and over again. So hopefully that makes sense for right now. Um, that's their big thing, is they're focused in on their fears, not so much emotional energy. They're really big thinkers. So it'd be better to, like, not better, but more accurate to ask, how do they think about me, instead of how do they feel? Because they're all up here. Down here is pretty much, they're like heart dead. Like we can be brain dead, they're heart dead. And they're all up in here. So hopefully that brings a little more awareness into that. So that's what they have for you, my dears. Many blessings to you. And then Ateshi Singh, you are up. So Ateshi, SSP's energy, AS versus SSP's energies versus SRJ, sorry. So SSP versus SRJ. So SSP energy, you got the Ace of Swords. This is an energy of seeking clarity, new communication, higher communication, seeing things differently. Very much cerebral and in their head kind of energy. SRJ, and kind of the same energy, except this is the Hanged Man. Both of these are about trying to see things from a different perspective. But SSP is more, because it's just a minor arcana, it's a smaller energy than the major arcana 12 transformational, sees things from a much higher perspective, transformative. So SSP feels like brand new, a beginning of trying to see things differently, whereas SRJ is more of someone who's been in the cocoon, transforming and ready to come out as a butterfly. The other one, SSP, just kind of feels beginning to question things. And so when you're looking at the two of them, it's like SRJ is more of the evolved, individual, and SSP feels more brand new in learning and communicating kind of energy. They got a lot to learn yet. SRJ feels like they've learned a lot already, and so they're at a higher level of communicating and seeing things differently, and a lot of maturity in them versus SSP. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of more perspective. That's what they have for you right now. So many blessings, Ateshi. All right. And then Leprechaun 714. I love leprechauns. So Leprechaun, you want to know, why has a bus rider turned kind of friend? Zaps all my energy after a phone call. His name is Raymond. I don't trust him. So why have they turned kind of friend? Okay. Let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know around this? Bus rider. Okay, we have that and this one here. Yep. Seven of Cups, there's a lot of different emotional energy around this one here. Brings in and Five of Cups. So the reason why it zaps your energy is because you're very empathic and you pick up a lot of their emotions. And so something that can help, and after I'm done here, I'll be posting a pinned comment. If you look up Sarah Taylor in the donation section, you'll see episode 9, the empath bubble, and episode 10, the real gift of an empath. Those I feel can help you because and I'm sure you know what an empath is. You pick up other people's emotions, and if we don't put up an empathic bubble, then we will be really impacted by all this emotional energy people are throwing around, which activates emotion inside of us, in our inner child, and other energy that it's emotionally draining for us, right? And if you've been putting up an empathic bubble, we've got a lot of growth energy this year where our empathic bubble that we've been having, if we've been having it for years and it's always worked before, there's so much enhanced and expanded emotional energy that we have to kind of reinforce it and upgrade it to be a stronger one and be more aware of there's a lot of strong emotional energy going on in the world as it is with all the events that are going on, a lot of fear energies that are out there. But then we have all this astrological energy this year that's expanding a lot and it's making it very, you know, big emotional energy. So check those out because um, that's a lot of this, what you're picking up, and you're picking up that. I can see the not trusting with the 5 and the 7 of cups. They've got a lot of emotional instability that comes in there, meaning a lot of lower vibration that they've experienced growing up, that they're in a loop of lower vibrational emotional energy. So that's why your little spidey sense is going off, going, I don't trust this. I don't trust this. And I feel like that's uh, a good call not to do that. So try looking into that empathic bubble and what the true gift of an empath is, which has to do with generating unconditional love energy and flooding it out. Because when you're flooding out this energy, none of that energy can get in either. So it helps with that. So check those out. Let me know what you think of those. But that I feel like is what they have for you right now, Leprechaun. So many blessings to you. All right. All right. And then we just have one more here. So Sean G, let me put your thank you for your additional donation here and for your patience in getting to it here as well. I wanted to finish up all those other free readings because they've been waiting for a long time. So I appreciate you um, waiting here. And so thank you for your additional donation. Wanted to know if you're on track to moving into your dream apartment next March. All right, let's take a look here. So based on current energy, so are you on track moving into your dream apartment? Okay, got that. I do want this one here. No, not those. Okay. Alrighty. I don't feel like we want to do the bottom yet here. You have the 3 of staves, which is a change of direction. And you have the 4 of swords, which is about expectations changing in the meantime. And now they can bring in the Queen of Cups, the Malika of Cups on the bottom, which is about following your heart. I do feel like you have a change of heart. I know you're like, no, my dream apartment is this, but I really feel like over the next months that something changes because you get new information, which with the 3 of wands is you changing direction, not you being forced to, but your heart changes and you change where you're wanting to look here. You have the 7 of swords, which is about you becoming aware of your own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that would cheat you out of opportunities and deception and lying and things not turning out to be what we thought they were. And so there is new information, and I feel that that helps change your mind with all that. It's kind of like how do they say when you're like if you're ever driving or you see someone out the corner of your eye and you're like, and then you catch up to them at a light and you just spotted it and you're like, oh my gosh, you have this vision in your head. And then you go up there and you steal a glance and you're like, oh man, it wasn't even, who you thought it was. It was a dog that you saw. It wasn't a human. You're like, well, they're cute, but it wasn't who I thought it was. And that's what I feel like comes in here is I feel like your taste changes or you actually get to really more clearly see them and realize this isn't for me. There's some concerns, some things that are deal breakers for you. You have the Son of Staves, which is the Knight of Wands, which is fast movement of energy. So I feel like there is this change that happens. Yeah, the Nine of Swords, it is what changes your mind here. Nine of Swords kind of represents, again, thoughts and beliefs, fears that just don't fit with you here. But I feel like with that Queen of Cups that you do end up looking and following your heart and you find something else that's more in alignment. Yeah, even the Six of Swords, leaving old ways of thinking behind, moving into somewhere new. So I do feel like you do end up moving somewhere in March, or by March. But I feel like it's different, than what you had anticipated because it is, new information that comes in. This is what your fortune cookie says here as well. All right. Yep. I love and honor myself. Following your heart, honoring your heart. Says the same compassion and appreciation you give others is equally, if not more important, to show yourself. Words of affirmation, accepting mistakes, setting clear boundaries, and following your intuition are just some of the ways you can express and magnify self love. Again, that Queen of Cups, following your intuition and your gut, going, there's just something not right about these apartments anymore. There's something that's changed, and I'm picking it up, and my spidey sense is going off. And so I'm not going to pursue this. I'm gonna go somewhere else. So I feel like that's what's coming in for those, Sean. I know, but trust your intuition. All right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. And thank you guys so much for all of your patience in getting to your readings. I will be posting a pinned comment here in just a moment, with all of the readings I completed with the timestamps. And thank you so much for all your love and support. And until I see you guys again, I'll be back tomorrow morning. Actually, I'll be back this morning. It's 1 a.m. here. So in 10 hours for my 11 o'clock. I'll also be back at 6 p.m. tomorrow night, Mountain Time, and then also on Sunday at 11. If you'd like to join me then, until then, remember every second of every day of your life, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you again, much love. Hang in there, take care of yourself, and remember, have some fun. Because why are we being so serious? All right, I love you guys. We'll see you soon.